Hello everybody and welcome, all thanks to LD Mobile. This is NBL Overtime. Wherever you might be around the country, hashtag NBL Overtime to get involved. A legend joins the NBL's newest franchise. Of course, we're going to see some huge inclusions for the New Zealand Breakers, and the top teams in the league continue to do what they do, and that is win. Hello, Corey.
What's the word?
The word is, I'm excited. I know that a hell of a lot's been going on the last 72 hours at headquarters because the pandemic again in different parts of the country has made it a bit tougher. So I'm glad that I'm here talking about the games rather than having to redo the schedule. Liam Santamaria, Studs and Duds, NBL.com.au, the NBL app. Hello to you.
Hey, man. Yeah, good call. Shout out to Sean Gottliebson at the NBL, who has to rehash that schedule. And shout out to everyone in Brisbane as well, lockdown in their homes, doing it a little tough right now.
All right, let's start with something that doesn't change, and that's the fact that the Perth Wildcats keep winning. Melbourne United, who are at the top of the ladder right below them, continue to win with a huge double, and then the Illawarra Hawks were brilliant, led by Tyler Harvey last night when they smacked around an undermanned Brisbane Bullets team. But let's start with the Wildcats. It feels like, no, we're going to start with the Illawarra Hawks. There you go. Either which way, both of them played well. Tyler Harvey was outstanding. A slight little knock meant that he didn't re-enter the game, but he didn't need to. But they were good last night.
Oh, they were, and he was extraordinary. That's the cool thing about these top three teams this week is their sharpshooters, their explosive scorers put on shooting displays, and Harvey was brilliant. So hard to guard, and Golding and Cotton, similar for their squads.
The thing is, last night, Homicide, and this is something that I think a lot of teams picked up on early. If you don't play great transition D early and you allow the Hawks to get rolling, then this game could be over, and that's exactly what happened last night.
Look, Tyler Harvey's a gun. He showed up. He did what he needed to do to keep his team in fourth place. Chris Goulden did his thing as well. Did what he needed to do to get his team back rolling again, right? I know what the graphics are showing. I'm going to Bryce Cotton. I'm going to John. I'm going to start with John Mooney first. John Mooney's numbers over this weekend: 17 and 16 against Illawarra. 2 days later, 13 and 17. Over the round, he averaged 15 and 16 and a half rebounds. I don't know why this man can't be Rookie of the Year, but right now, his name is getting louder and louder. I respect it. Bryce Cotton against Simon Sesso and Deng Adel, two of the toughest defenders I believe he faced this season so far. 22 and 5. 2 days later, against whoever guarded him on the Sydney Kings, 29 and 4. When that passport comes, when that man gets naturalized, there is no way in hell he does not make that team, B. The greatest to ever do it in this country. I'm going to keep saying it because he keeps delivering. It's looking so easy. Too easy. There's nobody in this continent, in this region, that can guard this man.
It's just so fun to watch.
It is.
When he steps out there, especially against the Kings. The numbers that he's put up against the Kings over the past season and a half are ridiculous, and we're going to get another look at it this week.
Yeah, well, hope they don't call a rubbish tech foul again and ruin the first half. But
Oh, that's a good point.
no, you know what? Did it make any difference to the end result? Probably not. In fact, it wouldn't have, because I think that the Wildcats, and in fact, the Kings led in that third quarter, and then Cotton went nuts. But
yo, shout out
we need to see human emotion and passion. We want to see it from players. We don't want to see cliches, and that's the type of stuff that puts players back in their shells. And I think everyone, the refs included, know the difference between the line of which you can cross that deserves a tech foul and it doesn't. And if Casper Ware went over the line that deserves a tech foul, we may as well just pack it up right now.
Yo, shout out to my man Luke Travers.
Your man.
Bunnings co-player of the game. He came off the bench and was a great spark. 16 points, career high, and great game.
I want to give a shout out to Deng Adel, who I thought was brilliant last night. Now, when we of course, when the Hawks signed all their players, he was their priority, and we were looking forward to Deng Adel. An injury-interrupted start. He hasn't been able to get to the groove, but I thought he was brilliant last night. And in the end, Tyler Harvey set it up. I understand that, but in that last quarter, Deng Adel I thought was really good for the Hawks, and it's good to see him start to play and feel a little more comfortable in that Hawks outfit.
Yep, for sure. And then, look, they're putting him in the right positions to try and get him going and giving him key defensive assignments along the way as well, and he's stepping up in that regard. So, you know, Corey's spoken about it the whole way along. He is so important to what they want to ultimately achieve, and they're starting to get him going.
Didn't speak a great deal about Melbourne, who looked, in fact, our man, that's you, at half-time, was me, you and the GOAT, Gaze. New Zealand can't lose. And then you threw a pen once the final
Oh, I threw the pen.
went.
They didn't see that part. That part was... I couldn't believe it.
But
I could not believe that. 18 points
Agreed.
down in the third. They come back and win.
They were scrappy as hell, Melbourne United, to get the job done. And it was a totally different outfit. Of course, Jack White back into the team. Mason Peatling was good. We were talking shortly Rookie of the Years and young guys who have played well in pre- and mid-season awards. But Melbourne United turned it around. They were brilliant. And we have said this the entire time. And Scotty Hobson still to come back in, probably this week. When Chris Goulding goes, Melbourne United goes. And when it comes to most valuable players in that team, he is most valuable to them because not only his shooting ability and his ability to do what he does, in particular on the big stage, but the energy is contagious, the crowd gets involved, and it's a different feel around United when Chris Goulding is doing those type of things.
Yeah, and I mean, I think that's what, that's the change that they wanted to make over from last season to this season, right? Is to make him much more of a focus offensively, make him feel like, hey, you can take those shots as you march the ball down in transition, pull up, it's all good. And when you...
It's been in the last couple of days, as Liam touched on off the top, we are thinking of everyone in Brisbane in lockdown and working their way through it. But it means there's been some changes to the NBL schedule. I won't go through game by game, but let's have a little look at what is changing. Of course, we've got tickets and memberships. No doubt the clubs have been in touch by now, but if you have a little look at that, some games have been postponed. We see obviously a change in New Zealand going to Launceston with Tasmania and the government making their decision around teams or people that have been in Brisbane. So a little bit of a change in the next couple of weeks with games postponed, and that is why the NBL continue to be flexible and don't just roll out the rest of the season fixture. They've got to be able to deal with stuff like this.
Yeah, right. So that's pretty big. I mean, Perth and New Zealand were both looking at 3-game rounds coming up this week, and now they're both down to just 1, which is interesting because they're two teams like I think would be ready to play game after game right now. New Zealand are getting some new bodies in, and the Wildcats are playing incredible form, but they're just going to have to play the one this week.
Now, but on New Zealand, of course, McDowell White out of quarantine, Levo Randolph about to be out of quarantine, expected. Well, is he expected to play?
Yeah, I think he will,
Yeah, okay. Corey Webster, we are hearing, might not be too far. That's right as well?
I think he might play this week too.
I think this works for New Zealand. As much as they want to get out in the court, and they had that great win last Saturday, and we'll touch on them in a moment, the fact is they get some more practice time with the guys coming in might actually be of an advantage for Dan Shamir and his crew.
Yeah, maybe. Although I think, they just got a good win, an overtime win, an emotional win.
True.
And I think maybe you want to play a few games on the back of that, get things rolling. But you take the positive from it, get those guys immersed in the system and go from there.
Now, do you have anything on any of that? Okay. There's some sad news, obviously, that broke yesterday across the NBL community. 4-time NBL championship player Alex Pledger, most recently with Melbourne United, the announcement that he is battling cancer. So we want to give a big shout out to Chief because he is for people who have had the privilege of meeting him, like us three have, and many people around the country who have played against him or with him, they know how much of not only a great guy he is, but a fighter. And we want to give a big shout out to Chief Alex Pledger and the comments there that he made on the announcement that was broken yesterday. And he's a wonderful basketballer. He's an ever better human. He's a fighter, and no doubt the NBL community is with you, mate. And we have no doubt you're going to beat this, just like you've been able to beat many an opponent and many a team over your illustrious NBL career.
Yep, well said, Cam. And you speak on behalf of the three of us and the whole basketball community when you say those words. And he's a winner, dude, this guy, man. Few people in NBL history have won more titles than Alex Pledger. And you're right, on and off the floor, just a class act. And I like I really respect his courage to come out and speak so openly about what he's going through, and let everybody know that he's up for the fight, and he feels lucky that they've got onto it as quickly as they have. Just turned 34 the other day, very young for this kind of diagnosis, but no doubt he's going to battle through it and come out on top.
And you, Chief, we're thinking of you, mate, and the whole NBL community are with you. All right, talking about Kiwi legends, the announcement today that Mika Vukona has joined the Jack Jumpers, the newest NBL franchise, as a consultant to their basketball operations. There you go. There's the quote. He's excited. We're excited. And we kind of expected at some point he's going to have a pretty big hand in the league in some way or another, and this is no different. I'm going to start with you, Homicide, because you're a big Mika Vukona fan, as we all are. This is a great, even though it's off court, this is a great acquisition by Scott Roth and the entire Jack Jumpers club, organisation, community?
I think that it is incredible that you have a man of his stature. He's a winner on and off the court. Everything he brings is about team. To me, he's an icon. He's a warrior. There's only one Mika Vukona. I've never played against a player that played every possession as intense as he has. And he's an asset to any organization. And it's great to have former NBL players a part of a league that they help build and help become great. So congratulations to Mika, man.
Great acquisition. Bring him into the mix to help build your culture and advise on how to build that up. But you know what's cool about this right now in this moment is it opens the opportunity for us to speak on him and his retirement and his career in the NBL, because we haven't really had that chance.
Hang on. Is he legitimately, he's 100% retired?
Well,
you can't be a consultant of a team and still be a player.
How do you know?
well, the tricky thing is...
It doesn't happen.
What, but
Show me a player right now that's active and a consultant for the same team.
I agree.
Or in the same league.
I agree, but there's also no rule that says he can't be a consultant, work and build in a culture, and then suit up for the Jack Jumpers.
Nah, he can't do that.
Why?
You just can't. It's one or the other. Pick one.
He's so humble.
Yeah,
I spoke to him
agreed.
over the off-season,
Yep.
you know, what's going on and whatnot, and he said, look, I'm hanging the boots up. I'm not playing on.
Okay.
And I said, well, let's work with you to kind of celebrate your career and do it properly, because the career he's had is inspiring. It's inspirational. And to have players, young players come up and hear the stories about how he behaved on and off the floor, I think helps the future of the game. But he's so humble. He's like, the best thing that we can all do for me is just to let me stay.
So he has retired.
But
This is my point.
The chance to talk about his 5-time championship winning career.
Yep.
And the fact that he is arguably the most, if not the most, one of the most highly respected players in NBL history. And man, he's just had an unbelievable career.
He has. And the Jack Jumpers game right now is going to be quite prevalent, I think, as they go through building this roster. Just quickly, are we expecting an announcement from the Jack Jumpers sometime soon around the player?
Don't know.
Okay.
Yeah.
What's Thon Maker doing? Seriously.
I don't know.
Is he playing?
You tapped into his representatives?
No, just asking. I just thought you might have. No, you don't? Okay, cool. Where are we? Let's talk about New Zealand, because they did play really well for 2.5 quarters against Melbourne United in Bendigo and then got that gritty overtime win on Saturday. And we know how hard of a year this has been. They've been on the road for so long. Colton Iverson. Liam, can you please tell me what happened pre-game with Colton Iverson on Saturday?
Wasn't expecting to play. Rolled his ankle.
Yes.
Early in this one. Fouled out on a technical, which I think he would regret. Copped some bad calls. But then he rolled up with the fitness test before this one. Didn't expect to play. Didn't even bring his playing kicks to the arena.
So he did his fitness test in socks, did he?
No, they have a spare pair of kicks for each player. Ones that he's never played in, doesn't really like, size 18s, and he ran around in them and came out and put 20
I'll tell you what.
boards in the box score and equaled a franchise record and helped this team get a much-needed overtime win.
He likes the shoes now, Homicide.
No, that's right. 10 points, 20 rebounds. Like Liam said, great team effort. A lot of times this team, they play really good basketball and then fall off at the end because of no legs. They get tired. But they figured out a way to dig in collectively and get it done. Ty Webster, 27 and 10 dimes. Finn Delaney, 17 and 9. Rasmus Bach.
Oh, yeah, it's been great.
He has been great for this team. Starting sometimes, coming off the bench, 16 and 5, 4 of 9 from the land of plenty. He's a reliable shooter and put in, I don't know what his contract situation is, but a bunch of teams would be looking at this guy's services for the future of his career in the NBL, because he is legit.
For sure, and shout out to the Breakers for finding him. These guys that have Australian citizenship, like Kendall Stevens, this guy Rasmus Bach, that you can find over elsewhere. They've done a good job there. And Colton Iverson, watching him, I applauded the signing to begin with, because I thought it was a great, he's obviously out of the EuroLeague, big unit. And they didn't need a guy who needed to score, right? Like set picks, be a presence defensively, get boards. But then watching him in pre-season, he was 5 steps behind the play, fouling out all the time and couldn't keep up, but got himself in better condition and is now, along with Ty Webster, they're the 2 most important players on this team. And with Rob Lowe not there, he's arguably the most important, because once you get Corey Webster back and you can do some other things in the backcourt. Ty Webster's an elite talent, of course, but as long as Colton Iverson's on the floor, this team has a chance to beat anyone on any night.
They got to win. And the Cairns Taipans went back to Cairns, the pop-up arena, the Snag Pit. They've been on the road for a while. They had no form in the last month. They've got to try and get some of that party time atmosphere back. And that man delivered. Game 50 for Cam Oliver, game 50 for Scott Machado as well. And it just felt, I'll start with you, Homicide. We called this game, the 3 of us together, and it just felt like a much different Cameron Oliver. The vibe, the feeling around him off the top was evident. And he spoke about that after the game, talking about in practice, getting more on people after a chat with Mike Kelly. It just felt like more of that fun Cairns Taipans team that we saw last year.
Just give him the ball early. I've seen too many games this season where they've given him, he's leaving the first half with 5 attempts, 4 attempts, couple of fouls. Listen, the man's an import and put on last season. You know why he put on last season? You guys was giving him the ball. Let him work. And that's why he was active so early in the game. And he's the kind of guy that if he's not active early in the game, he's not going to rebound the ball. He's just not. So you have to keep him involved. They got to do a better job of that. They did that. He delivered. They played really good on defense. They've got a whole lot of transition baskets. Scott Machado, they turned him into a scorer, and he delivered. I mean, it was a great performance because we do know on the ball, defending, Sunday Dech is a problem. So it's very difficult for guards to get off on Sunday. And Scott Machado rose up to the challenge and got it done. And great team win at home. Much needed. At some point they were going to win. But, they got it done. And please, 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 Connor Henry, please. Please. I know you watch Overtime. Everybody does. Start the man. Run plays for the man. Play the man. He's a gun. There's no reason his minutes and attempts should be as low as they are. Play the man. You're going to win. You don't play the man, you're going to keep losing. Real talk.
Any quick word on either of those?
Hopefully.
Brandon Paul is what I'm talking about, just in case if you don't know who I'm talking about.
I don't think Connor Henry.
Please and thank you. The whole 36ers fan base. And us. And Gaze, too. And Hammer. Everybody. Everybody.
I'm pretty sure Connor Henry knew who you meant, mate.
Man.
Hopefully Giddy's back this
I hope
week,
so.
And they can rock out with Giddy and Brandon Paul. Play Sunday Dech at the 3. Those 3 guys on the perimeter, rock and roll.
Mid-season awards time.
Let's do it.
Play it.
Oh, geez, there's a lot on there.
There is. Same.
Okay. Talk us through it, Cam.
All right, well, we've got the same MVP, Bryce Cotton, I think the whole country. Same as Trevor Gleeson. Most improved, McVeigh for myself and Corey. Liam's gone for Froling, who's having an outstanding year, no doubt.
Yeah.
Defender, we've got different. Norton, Simon. I've gone Humphreys. Now, this is keeping in mind, this is to now, right to now, not who's going to win it in our line. 6 man, I've gone for Benny Moore. Adnam, there you go. Both in the same team and all for DJ and the Rookie of the Year. Let's talk about the Defensive Player of the Year because that's one we've all got different. Fire away.
Damn, Mitch Norton has been unbelievable.
He has.
This year. So who was it? Norton, who did you have?
Justin Simon.
Justin Simon.
Matt Humphreys.
Sunday Dech can't get a look in from.
Oh, no,
from
he's
any
been
of us.
great.
I think I've got Dech second, to be honest. But the job Norton's doing game in, game out against the premier offensive player in the backcourt for their opponents. And they've been elite at the defensive end. I think they've got maybe the second-ranked defense in the league behind Melbourne United. And he is an enormous part of it. And he's doing it without fouling, staying out of foul trouble for the most part. And, whilst Cotton and Mooney are getting all kinds of praise, and we're talking about Todd Blanchfield knocking down shots, I think Mitch Norton's been a huge key to their success.
Mitch Norton has been great. Isaac Humphreys has been great as well prior to injury. That's who I had, as well as MVP of the league. But Justin Simon, I love everything he brings on defense. He's been great. I mean, he's pretty much shut down everybody he had to guard. They're just not in first place. But I'm rolling with Justin Simon.
I went Isaac Humphries. Now, again, I don't think he'll win it because I think he's going to end up missing too much game time. He's missed 6 to this point when we are asked to do it. Won the league leading in rebound, won the league, if not the league leading in blocks, and they've got no rim protector without him. They're a much different team, and that also goes to the other end of the court as well. So it's not just a defensive point of view, as Homicide spoke about. He was having a great year, but the fact that teams can get whatever they want without him there.
For sure.
Me. But Mitch Norton's been outstanding. It's a huge reason. We talk about Todd Blanchfield and the fact that he's moved into that Tariko White spot and playing it maybe, if not better, and we've had numbers to suggest that. I'm not saying Mitch Norton is Damian Martin, but the fact he's been able to go in there and fill the gap better than almost anyone expected him to, considering the award is now named after Martin, has been a huge reason as to why Perth have not missed a beat.
A couple more on there. Shout out to Jordan Hunter, who I think is part of the conversation for most improved player.
He's second for me.
Because he's come from a base of like, his numbers are like nothing and nothing, basically. Just played tiny little spot minutes, and he's out there having an impact as a starter. And when Jarrell Martin came in, I think the expectation was he was going to be their undersized 5-man, but they said, you know what, let's keep Jordan out there. So he's been doing great. Sam Froling having a terrific year.
Unbelievable.
Slightly sliding under the radar, I think, a little bit in terms of his impact. And how close were either of you guys to Josh Giddey for Rookie of the Year?
I wasn't.
I think Josh Giddey will end up winning Rookie of the Year. But right now, I think the DJs, in particular, started the year and the way that he's been putting up points, been a little quiet the last couple of weeks, but not to the point he's just dropped off the cliff. I'm not expecting that, suggesting that at all. But I think Josh Giddey will end up winning it. But right now, DJ, because I think if you're on triple-double watch almost every game, not dissimilar to how we were last year with LaMelo Ball, you're going to have to be very deep into that conversation. I
would say also Cam Bairstow in the mix there for 6-man, having a big impact off the bench for the Hawks. Who do you guys, who would you have in second place for Coach of the Year right now?
Coach of the Year, probably Gorge. And remarkable to think that he's probably the greatest coach we've ever seen on our shores, and no one expected Illawarra to be this good. That includes us. And you know, Harvey's been incredible. Jessup's been good at points. You mentioned Froling. Bairstow's been great. But they did lose. Like if someone had said in the off-season, oh, Dingadell's not going to be the Dingadell because of injuries and being uncomfortable, hasn't quite been able to work into it, they're sitting third on the ladder and they're a legitimate championship contender. How about you? Who do you have?
Gorge, for sure. I mean, they're essentially an expansion team.
They are.
You know, when you've got a new ownership, a new coach, and almost an entirely new roster, and they've got all these games to come at home, and they're rocking and rolling inside the top 3.
Fans, get to the stadium as well. I know that they haven't played many home games and they've got a lot to come, but make sure you get and fill the seats because it's a great way to watch and be entertained every time the Illawarra Hawks in town. All right, Sneaker of the Week, all thanks to JD Sports. Speaking about a guy who was, well, he was my 6th man of the year, but he's now a starter. Have a look at that. Are they the Freaks?
Those are the Freaks.
Yep.
The Greek Freaks, yep.
That's nice. Custom as well. He's very creative, Ben Moore, clearly, but the fact he's been able to do that himself. And I love the way he's playing about it. So all thanks to JD. That is the Sneaker of the Week. Good job, Ben Moore. And Chook, check these out. The undisputed king of trainers at JD Sports.
Oh, wow.
Oh, Air Jordan 1 Gym
Oh, look at
Red.
the little kid ones.
They're little kids. They got men's, women's, kids. Available from
Cam,
JD.
they can fit you.
What are you laughing about? I got them. Hey, the joke's on you.
Those are the babies,
You know how long that takes me to put on? 0.4 of a second. Don't have to do shoelaces. It's remarkable. All right. Now, of course, don't miss out. And I'll tell you this, little Good Friday this week.
Right.
They're online Friday. In store Saturday in JD Sports, but they're online. A little birdie told me they're online at JD Sports, jd-sports.com.au on Friday. So make sure you get involved. Do not miss out.
Nice.
That might have been the funniest thing you've ever said, by the way, Corey. Let's get to the LE Mobile Top 10 Plays of the Week.
Round 11 is done. Let's have some fun at your Aldi Mobile NBL Top 10. At number 10, it's Justin Simon, Fancy Diamond. A mind bender right between defenders to Sam Froling going soft jam with the left hand, and that's in at number 10. On to number 9, where Uday Baba gets the steal, and once he's in the open floor, he's harder to catch than a breeze with a net. Uday's off like a blaze, and the Melbourne guards got hops for days. Uday Baba goes flying at number 9. We're on the break at number 8. Illawarra's back again as Dangadelsky's at the rim. But on this play, the star by far is the beautiful dish from Emmett Nahr. Behind the back at the rack for the Dangadel airborne rim smack, we see you Hawks Twitter. Illawarra in at number 8. At number 7, off a pass from Bryce, Luke goes tumbling like dice. But Perth won't complain because his finish was nice. Travers gathers himself for a finish that's top shelf. The Wildcats get in with a circus shot at number 7. On to number 6, and this isn't a record, but check out the spin as Mitch drives and dishes to Jock at the rim. McCarron, Sharon in the air, and Landale slams well to get Melbourne in again at number 6. At number 5, Space Cam slips the screen and then gets flat obscene. We missed Oliver on the countdown last week, but the freak is back throwing down from his uptown lounge. Another Cam slam for the Taipans, and it's in at number 5. In at number 4, how about these delightful tricks for Breakers' late game theatrics? Ty tries a no-look pass with 30 seconds left in the game, and it's Finn for the win as his 3-ball goes in. Brisbane is reeling off the 3 for New Zealand as Delaney gets in at number 4. On to number 3, where Tyrell Harrison fakes the handoff and goes for the liftoff. Just a little top of the key hesitation sets off the levitation and then the detonation. Tyrell rings the bell at number 3. At number 2, with time winding down in the half, Jared Kenny just flings it like a chest pass, and somehow from beyond half court it's in off glass. A heave that will make you believe. Kenny, with a penny from heaven, gets him in at number 2. But at number 1, oh, poor Jared Bairstow's gonna be on the injury list with a sprained ego after this hammer throw. Jordan's a big
stuff. Make sure you jump on. You know what the remarkable thing about that is?
Yes.
That's not even Jordan Hunter's best dunk of the year. No, the dunk he did against Phoenix, late game, was better than that. And I love that. And we were commenting, I'm not saying at all diminishing that. I'm putting the other one above it just.
Top 10 Jordan Hunter plays at the end of the year is going to be quite nice.
And you spoke about it. Of course, he's playing particularly well. Just quickly, where are we on Brisbane? Okay, we know how undermanned they are. Vic Law, we expect him to be back. We know Lamar Patterson working back towards it. Where are we on the Bullets right now? Because 3 weeks ago at the NBL Cup, and they had a chance to win it before that whole second half defensive debacle against the Kings. Yep. But they were really good. They were great. Where are we?
They're good.
They're good?
No Vic Law.
Yeah, I know.
Come on, man. He's one of the best players in the league.
No, I'm not. I'm asking you.
Yeah. They were not impressive at all in that game last night against Illawarra, but they're dealing with the situation that some other teams have dealt with previously in terms of being displaced. Their families are all locked down back in Brisbane. They don't know when they're going home. So they've got to rise above that. They've got to get Vic Law back on the floor, and they'll be good to go.
Yeah, no, I do agree. You got anything for me before you leave? Nothing?
Uh-oh. What you got?
Well, I'm just going to get this off. This is an adult shoe. I just want to I don't want JD Sports, here we go, beautifully done.
How you
Sweet
get those?
Air Max. Hey? What do you mean how I got them? You were there when I got them.
Oh, you got those?
JD Sports, this is where I got from JD Sports. People are hitting me up using hashtag NBL Overtime, think I've got size 4 shoes because of you. Look at this, how sturdy are these? Bang.